What's happening, Brighton? The short answer is a lot. The long answer is this podcast. What's Up, Brighton is a show dedicated to the community we all love.
Hosted by Roger Burnett, Eric Meldrum, and Coach Mark Howell, this podcast will feature news, issues, and discussions impacting Livingston County and celebrate the people who make our slice of Michigan go and grow. This is What's Up, Brighton.
Sit out.
And I gotta check my calendar.
I think Mark's doing it by himself.
I know. That's impossible to do, Elise.
Well,
I think we're just going to dive right in.
we're already rolling. So what's
go.
up, Brighton? I mean, welcome to episode 38. Future casting for episodes in the future.
Yes.
We'll just let it be. So we got all the same normal folks, but we've got a new contestant.
Oh.
People told us we needed a female voice on the
They did.
on the
They did.
podcast, and we're like, I don't believe you,
Yeah.
but
And Eric was
maybe."
close to fulfilling it, but we had to bring in
Yeah.
someone
Hey-o.
else. Yeah.
Hey guys,
So
I feel a little bit like I'm being hazed right now.
Oh.
you know,
that
We
is
just wait.
100 That is 100% what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay,
That is
That's
I'm
100%.
down for it.
but the
Oh,
simple fact
like-
that you poured yourself a bourbon to start the show, you're
Brownie
mostly
points.
in. I mean,
Yeah.
you're mostly in.
I was like,
That's-
there's just bourbon sitting out there. Like,
I know.
welcome.
Now you know why we love doing this.
Welcome
Yes,
to the
now I get
Speakeasy
it.
Podcast.
yes. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. You want to tell the folks over out there on that camera who you are?
Okay.
Yeah.
So my name is Elise, and I am the co-owner of McClements Farm.
Woohoo!
Awesome.
We are a freeze-dried candy and food store in downtown Brighton. We also have kind of a country store vibe. We carry local honey and maple syrup and jams and pickles and peanut butter and pretty much anything that you could think of that would be like preserved. And that was born out of our desire to just preserve food. I don't know about you guys, but do you remember how bad it was like 2008-ish? 2009? Yeah, you lived through
100%.
that? Okay, so times were lean.
A little bit.
We got married, and in addition to my, obsessive couponing habit, that was like all the rage at the time.
That was.
I also
Oh,
thought
you're
I would
a
try.
couponer. All
yes,
right.
I was a
Yeah.
The
couponer
coupon
back in the day.
book and everything. They had
Gotta
like
have
the
a
show.
I
They
had
the
a
show.
binder.
Oh yeah.
Binder,
That was
like-
like a thing.
It was a
Solid.
thing.
That was
So
a
when you-
total thing.
When you say back in the day, have you retired from that, or you still do it?
I would say I'm too busy to be a couponer
Okay,
now, and
fair
also
enough,
that it's
fair
just
enough.
not the rage anymore.
Got it.
But I did pick up a lot of new skills during the time. So I went through like a kombucha phase,
Sweet.
and I went through a sourdough phase, and then canning was the thing, like all the
Oh.
rage. Save money if you can.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so over time, learned how to can a lot of things, and learned a lot about food preservation, and then fast forward to 2022. That is 4 kids later. And
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank
More
you.
kids.
That's a lot.
Man.
And we got a freeze dryer because I said, wouldn't it be cool if we had a freeze dryer? Yeah, it'd be cool. All of a sudden, we have this really expensive machine, and everyone's asking us to sell things that we're making in the freeze dryer.
Oh.
So it started with peaches from
So-
our trees.
Okay,
Ooh.
so peaches. I wanted to know, like, what are you
Right.
freeze drying
The f-
outside of like the viral
Like the candies.
Candies, yeah.
So it started with fruits.
Okay, started with fruits.
That was the reason we purchased it. We were already dehydrating stuff just for our own personal use, like apples from our trees, stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I was like, wouldn't it be cool if we had the freeze dryer? And then the freeze dryer can take like 20 pounds of food
Oh.
and process it all at once over the course of a couple days, like set it and forget it. And then you have this food to store for a long time. I did not know 2 years ago that today I'd be a store owner in downtown Brighton surrounded by candy all the day, like all the day long.
Sounds terrible.
Um,
Well, you're making me hungry. So like, just
some of the stuff that we have.
Let's,
yeah.
Okay, so
Let's
this
do
is
this
a
thing.
small collection. Okay,
So we've already had
so
bourbon. What goes better with bourbon than sweets?
There's freeze-dried mango.
I mean, I'm a specialist in dehydrating my
We're
body.
gonna have to
Yeah,
pop those
100%.
open
Yes.
because they're like factory sealed, basically.
All right.
These are bananas
Banana.
and pickles. If you
Banana.
really,
This is a
Pickles.
What's Up Brighton.
Yeah.
It's a first, yeah.
First
so
review.
those are like the real foods. We do more than this, but the pickles have been all the rage lately. But as one person told me, it's not do you love salt, it's
dear.
are you in love with salt?
Oh.
If you're in love with salt, try those.
Mango?
What are these? What are these?
Those are mango.
That's mango.
Mango.
Those are bananas. And then these are the pickles. So that's like real food going through a traditional freeze drying process.
Those are awesome.
I think
It's
they're better
different.
than real mango.
It's
Wow.
different
I don't even
than
like real mango. I
dehydrated.
like that.
Yeah.
It's different than dehydrated.
Correct. So like when you dehydrate, if you want to get really dorky on me for a second, okay.
Yeah.
When
Those
you
are really
dehydrate,
tart.
Let's nerd out.
Those are good.
you're
Nerd
heating the
out.
temperature up so that all the water, like, evaporates out of the food with a dehydrator. But unfortunately, it makes the cell collapse in the food. So you notice that it gets like flat.
Mm.
You ever do
Crunchy.
that?
It's crunchy.
Mm.
But with freeze drying, we're freezing it at like -30 and then pulling the water out or the moisture out via a process of sublimation, which means it's going directly from water to a gas and freezing to the inside of the drum of the machine. So
Oh,
it just is a better quality. It keeps all the nutrients intact.
oh my God.
Pickles are insane.
That's the new potato chip.
Yeah, that's way better than
Yeah.
a potato chip. I would eat those.
All
Were you,
day.
were you guys expecting
This is a problem.
the flavor to be there?
Not
No.
the intensity of that.
Mm.
Oh my
Because
God.
when I eat like dehydrated bananas
Yeah.
Yeah.
or banana chips, it has like the subtle flavor of banana, but it's mostly just salty,
Right.
right? Because there's salt in it up.
That's just literally a banana.
This literally, this has
So
every
good.
flavor that a fresh banana has.
Yeah. And what's really nice about this is that we can have parents with like toddlers come in
Yeah.
Mm.
and they want candy and they're like, you can have some nature's candy.
Mhm.
And then they point at that and then the
Do
kids
that
cry.
voice again.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
No,
a
it's
fantastic
legit.
voice.
I heard a mom say that. You can have some of the banana candy. And I was like, oh, you poor kid.
Heck
but
yeah.
they're good.
Sorry, kid.
They're good, And so and they're easy for toddlers to eat too because they kind of like
Mhm.
dissolve in their mouths.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's safe for kids. They're not going to choke on that.
Our kids ate those
Crazy.
things. What are they? The I don't know, the little small. They dissolve
Are
in
they
your
the
mouth.
yogurt? Are they the yogurt?
The yogurt
things?
ones, yeah.
Yogies
Oh, yeah.
Or something? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And those are freeze dried.
Those things were the
That's another
bomb.
thing you can do with a freeze dryer.
Yeah.
So that was kind of how it started. We were doing actual fruit off of our property. We own like a homestead in Brighton Township. I think that's Browell, actually.
Hey,
Oh.
how about that?
She
It
does
does
watch
not
the show.
exist.
She does.
I'm actually
Excommunicated.
I'm waiting for my t-shirt.
Excommunicated.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So
Oh yeah. We had to
maybe
do
have our
this
Browell
pizza
jacket.
party thing first.
Growl t-shirt we had.
Okay.
We had to, but the
These
property
t-shirts-
of Brole High is a thing.
It's a thing.
100%.
It's a thing. So after Pizza Royale, we'll get to the Browell t-shirts, and I would like one.
Yeah.
But we have this kind of like
I
a
like it.
hobby farm thing going on. So that's where we got, obviously we're not growing mangoes and bananas on our property. We purchased those, but the peaches and the apples and some of the things out of the garden for personal use, we were able to freeze dry when we got started. The pickles, just so you know, an aside, they're from the Crunchy Pickle in Howell.
Mm,
Nice.
Okay.
Sweet.
And she features our stuff too. So
Nice.
then
I
we
love
do
the sandwiches.
candies.
Whoa.
These are caramel apple pops. Kind of
Whoa.
hard to eat because they just kind of
Disintegrate.
crush everywhere.
Got it.
But they're really fun. Even the inside sucker puffs up. Those are big this time of year.
Those are great to eat in your Jeep.
These are gummy
Son of a
bears.
bitch.
They don't like if you look really closely, you can see their tortured faces. And then
Love it.
seasonally, we have fun things like candy corn. I don't actually like candy corn
No.
normally, but I do like it freeze dried.
Fight me.
Interesting.
It's
awful.
not waxy anymore.
Do you
Yeah.
have any
I
don't like candy corn
small
either.
ducks that you freeze dry?
Not yet, but I
Man,
think
you
if
guys
we
are
could
really
get
pushing
some,
the limits here.
Mark would like that.
we could totally get them out to you. Yes.
What's
He tries not to like crush all the candy.
What's
in
been the
process.
one, like, did you have one that you tried and you're like, oh God.
like don't do this?
Yeah.
So I didn't know when we first got started that you're not supposed to preheat marshmallows before you turn on the vacuum. So I had put in peeps
Yeah.
and had an unfortunate incident. And we used to do Sour Patch Kid marshmallows. And one time I texted my husband and I was like, I think we created Sour Patch Kid men. Because they were like, like this. I was like, we can't, you touch
It was
them and they were
Ghostbusters.
just dust. They were just, I
It was
like, oh.
Ghostbusters. They grew and then that's
Yeah,
awesome.
it was not a keeper.
Can you see his poor face?
No.
Couldn't stop
No,
thinking
he's
about
like,
the Stay
"Please
Puft
help
Marshmallow
me."
Man.
Is he,
This is a better one at it. That's the gummy bear.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta tell me which one tastes
Decision
better. though.
pending.
The one that's more
Those are decision
compact
pending
or
and
the-
a
Oh
little,
boy.
little ugly naked
I feel
man.
like I'm gonna have a sugar overdose.
This is so awesome, and you're washing it down with bourbon. This is
I mean,
fantastic.
that's,
great
that's
mix.
the way to do it.
Well,
so,
Great mix.
This is more dense.
Mm-hmm.
This is fluffier.
Mm-hmm.
So the texture wise, I like the fluffier because it just melts in your mouth. This one I had to chew.
Yeah.
So I don't really care for that one. I would eat this all day.
And
So we
by-
try to do an assortment of the colors. Some colors puff better than others.
Sure. Well, if you ever want an honest opinion that can always sometimes veer on ruthless about anything, you should just ask Eric. Because if he doesn't like it, he's not afraid to tell you.
I don't have a filter.
That's true.
I like what I
Okay.
like. You know?
It's how Pizza Royale got started. Mediocre pizza in Brighton, as told by Eric Meldrum.
And so many people agree with me.
And yet here we are,
And
full-blown
here we
cage
are.
match, somebody trying to win. So you had Ghostbusters like explosions in your. To
Love
me, what I love about this story is like how many other storefronts that we have downtown are like this, right? Like
Like an accident.
we were doing a thing in our living room, our kitchen, and then we're like, hey, this is kind of a business. And then you're like, well, we could pick a place to put our business. Where are we going to pick it? And you picked
Main Street.
B-Town.
Well, let's go back a little ways. We
Yeah.
started selling things on Facebook Marketplace.
Boom.
And then Renee Pettingill from City Council was like,
Oh, yeah.
you need to be in the farmer's market, which was
Ah.
terrifying to me at the time
Okay.
because I thought, I feel like a poser,
Oh.
like major imposter syndrome, right? Like,
Because you're not a.
I've literally just started doing this. If you looked at our stuff from 2 years ago to now, drastic difference.
Yeah.
How much we've learned and how
Trash.
much better.
It's terrible. The early
Garbage.
stuff, so
It's
bad.
garbage.
Who even ate that?
I look at my old photos. I'm like, we can't use that.
I can't work under these conditions. Remember the early days, honey? It was so fun.
And then it was just a quick, like, not really where we were going with it, but suddenly there was an available storefront, and we're like, that's where we need to be. But there was never another thought about it. We were never going to go somewhere else.
Anywhere
It was
else.
always going to be Brighton.
Yeah. Right? And to just
'Cause
have
of course.
courage.
Naturally.
I was going to say,
Courage.
how scary is that to go from like, we don't need storefront, we don't have any overhead expenses besides our cost of goods,
Right.
to now we have rent.
It was terrifying.
Yeah.
It was terrifying. Like, I
bet.
don't know what, I think we were just, it was a long winter. Got to the end of winter, and it was like, how would you like to paint a lot of things? And spend a lot of time with people putting their heads in the window going, what's
What
coming in here?
What y'all doing?
Yep. And
Would you-
now every day I get people coming in with their dry cleaning or their alterations or whatever, asking
dear.
where that person went. And I was like, all due respect,
That was
she moved out
three
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
3 businesses ago.
I was like, perhaps she'd still be here if you brought her
Oh.
pants.
Right? Yeah.
That's every day.
Where have you been
Burn.
the past 3 years?
Would you like some candy?
Yeah. I thought this was a chocolate shop. Well, it was. We moved in 5 months ago.
Yeah.
So how has it been? Because one of the things that we've gotten a lot of recently in downtown Brighton is candy shops.
Right.
So how has it been kind of being one of many candy shops coming? Are you guys finding it like good that people know there's a lot of candy shops downtown, or like what's been like?
At first, I was concerned that when we moved in, that it would take business away from some of the others. Like, I mean, we love Keith at Oh My Lolly, but I think what we do is so different.
Mhm.
Sure.
Like, we
Yeah.
aren't doing custom hard-made, hard candies like what he does. We don't have cotton candy like spun sugar.
Right.
And these are people that I very much like. Mandy and Keith are great people. But what we're doing is creating really, really fresh, good quality candies, fruits, freeze-dried ice cream, stuff like that, for people to get that we're literally processing in-house.
Mhm.
And that, I think, is what sets apart from maybe something you might see at a grocery store. There's tons of competition out there for freeze-dried products. But at the end of the day, when you're able to say, hey, is that the machine that you make your stuff in? And then people
Right.
come over and are like, wow. And I had a field trip come in. I got to explain food preservation. I mean, that
That's
definitely
super
sets
cool.
us apart from.
That's really cool.
There was a kid that
competition.
went home and was like, Mom, when I grow up, I want to preserve food.
That's
And
right.
without
That's
the field
highly
trip.
unlikely. But,
We
know,
can
You never
dream.
know. You never know.
Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
That's
Elise.
right.
Come
I,
on.
ha- I was such a homeschool mom, too. I was like, here's your handout. Here's all a list of different ways that we preserve food, and this is what sublimation.
There's a test
And
tomorrow.
all the kids are like looking at you like, so when do we get the candy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
do we
just
get
have some
free
candy.
And I was
candy?
like,
Are we
and,
gonna-
and part of your field trip is getting this little pack of Skittles.
There you
And
go.
then they're all
Okay.
like, yay!
Womp, womp. Oh yeah, it's saved.
So
For sure.
you've had the good fortune, misfortune to have been in what has been a bit of a tumultuous time in downtown Brighton.
Correct.
How do you weigh in on that journey?
I mean, when are we starting the tumultuous
Oh,
time?
it's your choice. You can start it wherever you would like.
Well, I think it is easy for people, especially if they're newer to the community, to see Brighton as a place and not as an identity.
Hey, I like
So
this. Okay.
when I moved in, we moved here
Whoa.
2017.
Deep thoughts with Elise.
You're speaking to Mark.
Okay, I'm just saying.
All right, I'm just holding on tight for this ride. Take me.
Okay, so we moved here in 2017 with 2 kids at the time. And we were actually probably about 10 minutes outside of Brighton. And it was kind of like Brighton is there. Like downtown Brighton is there.
Right.
We're here. Whatever. We weren't near a downtown specifically. And when we became a part of the farmer's market and then later opened a store, now it's like Brighton is me. Like this is me. When people get into the group and they insult things about Brighton, and there are things that we can work on for sure.
Oh,
If
yeah.
they insult Brighton, like, oh, Brighton has nothing good, or Brighton's terrible, or I'm not going downtown. It's like, hold on.
We should start putting
Yeah.
people on pips. Sorry, too much corporate.
No,
I'm
I
going to
just-
need you to sign this form, sir,
Yeah. You want to be part of this group, you need to sign this pip.
or you're going to have some ducks on your windshield.
I think it's important
Holy
to
shit.
have people like in our group. It's so important to have the criticism. It's important for people to say the controversial, have the controversial take. But then it's like, but what are we actually here for? Are you here to be a part of this community, or are you just here to like poke at people?
Right.
Some people are just here to poke at people.
I have recognized
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I have recognized this. I also think the rest of you are slacking.
Oh.
Just I just want to point this out
Shots
on air.
fired.
Wait a minute. Whoa,
Comes
whoa.
on
Yeah.
the program.
Whoa.
Just
Whoa.
On air. Okay. Either
Bring-
we're getting hundreds of requests a day, or y'all are waiting to see if Elise is going to deal with it. Because I'm telling you, I'll go on and I'll be like, does nobody else ever approve posts around here? Like, what is the deal?
The one who gets to them first is the winner.
All right,
I'm
will
picking that
fully admit I see a lot of those posts, and I like to be the good news guy. So I'm like, unless it's a blatant no, I'm like, I'll at least be the bad guy,
Oh well,
or I'll let Roger be the bad
I'm the
guy.
only one apparently sending like reasons with the declines. So like yesterday, I get
It's beautiful.
another message. Hey, why does my post keep getting declined? And I'm like, I don't remember declining this. So I
Roger.
go back through. It was Roger.
100%.
It was Roger, and I have to send like a paragraph
You know,
long
yeah.
explaining why this person's post is being declined.
I've had to clean up Roger's Slack for so long.
I know it's clearly
yeah.
love
Merciless.
Roger.
Every-
Love
Every
it.
time I get a message,
somewhat merciless.
Love
someone's
it.
like, "Hey, I'm trying to do this and that." I'm like, it's probably Roger.
Right?
Yep.
Stop trying to make it be something it's not, people, and then we won't have these problems because everybody wants it to be what they want it to be.
It is true. They're
That's
like,
what-
but I have to get my gutters cleaned. I don't think you guys understand.
Exactly.
I'm like,
Have to.
someone posted about it last week.
Yeah,
I need
and the dryer
my
vents.
hot water.
Oh my
replaced.
gosh, dryer vents.
It's just somebody. It's just somebody's buddy saying, if I make this post, maybe you can comment on it.
Yeah, right.
That's
Watch
exactly what it
this.
is.
There's
Watch
no
this.
there's no
Right?
post engineering going on.
The joy
There's
of it.
absolutely
We got
no
our
post-
we got our first bot. You
We did get our
wasn't
first
wasn't that
bot.
crazy? So we got this request to join.
Oh,
and
that
this
was funny.
We have these questions.
That
and
was
when you
actually
join the
awesome.
group. You're like, where do you live? What do you love about Brighton? And the person literally is like, I'm a AI bot.
Yeah.
And I have no emotional intelligence whatsoever. I'm here. Like, I don't
It's
remember.
like, what is your favorite thing about Brighton? I cannot say what my favorite thing is. You are having a conversation with
There you
AI.
go.
It was
That-
so.
That was the way I heard it
Yeah.
too.
I was like, is
What
this
the
person
French is
being
going on
funny
right now?
or like what's
So
going
naturally,
on?
we approved.
approved.
Like, this is gonna get interesting.
I
Right.
wanna see what
Let's
this
do
guy's gonna
this. Watch this.
But I think this is the first time in the Elise era that we had one of those moments because this used to happen. Like I would take a capture and send it to the guys, and they would be like, "Yes, approve it. I can't wait to see what's about to happen." And we had just this. So what's fun about when you have 4 people who are all responsible? And by the way, if you haven't
Whoa.
figured this out yet, Elise is also on the admin team. So for those of you who complain that we don't approve things,
it's
fast
Elise's
enough,
fault.
It's we're adding to the team
No, I am
slowly.
the only one approving
to
stuff.
to
with
make
it.
That
to
may or may
make-
not be true.
to make it be
You just have more time on your.
yeah. Well, no, she's the least jaded of all of us because
Who's
she's had the
storming it?
least opportunity to be disappointed by what people try to do, right? So, but yet the idea around this concept of we've created this opportunity for community and like it's legitimately something we will debate.
Mhm.
And that in and of itself, I think is part of what makes the community good because like
Yeah.
it's not just like, Well, Roger's a jerk, and he just flat denies everything. I think this whole idea of us that we leave stuff that we're not entirely sure about in the queue,
That's true.
because we're all trying to decide, like, that's so not, maybe I'm not sure. Could it be?
It's gray. It's so gray.
Should
I
we
don't
do
know.
it? Like,
Decline.
right? And so, like, to
Eric's
me,
like, just no.
F them all.
to me, what I'm a little disappointed in is
Uh-oh.
that the prompt engineering hasn't worked appropriately well yet to get us the consistent flood of duck posts.
Holy. Okay. You know what? On that fucking note,
Well, wait a minute.
I am so sick and tired of the freaking ducks.
no.
I can't take another minute of this
Wait.
shit.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
Oh, my.
All right. Well,
Oh,
I hate the damn ducks.
are you or a loved one struggling with the effects of a stroke? The Oxford Center in Brighton, Michigan offers a cutting-edge alternative stroke treatment that can help stroke victims even years after having a stroke. Our approach combines traditional medicine with evidence-based alternative therapies, including hyperbaric oxygen therapy. This advanced treatment involves breathing pure oxygen in a specialized environment that can stimulate the growth of new blood vessels and promote healing in the brain. We also offer physical therapy and speech therapy programs to help patients regain their strength, coordination, and ability to communicate. Contact the Oxford Center today at 248-486-3636 or visit the website at oxfordcenter.com to learn more about the alternative stroke treatment options, including hyperbaric oxygen therapy. That's 248-486-3636 or visit oxfordcenter.com.
All right, so I think that we should start a thing in the group
Wow.
about the ducks, like maybe duck sightings. We could just start a whole thing where there's hashtag Mark's Ducks.
That was unprecedented.
What just happened?
We got walked. It's like, I hope that's not far reaching. Like, I hope that was just, yeah. So,
Well,
okay. Well,
This is kind of like his admin responsibilities. He just walked out.
yeah.
Like what? Okay, I guess we can say whatever we want now.
Yeah.
I'm
Mark's gone.
I'm sorry. Sorry-ish. Sorry-ish. I don't know.
If you drive a Jeep, you have literally set Mark over the edge. Jeep Wranglers, for that matter.
You and your ducks, you people and your ducks, just finally put the poor guy. And I wanted to talk about Sparks of Hope, and we didn't even get a chance to talk about the whole new program that they just, the DIY fundraising project that
we
those
can
guys.
we can still salvage it. We're here to talk about Elise. Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers to
ducks.
There we go. And I can't stop eating all these fruits. The sugar is probably not my cup of tea.
Well,
but
I knew some of you had dietary restrictions. I honestly thought that Mark would just like plow through the whole thing in one sitting. So
Well, he was fired up already. Maybe it was the sugar that had him fired up. So 2025, you have a good sort of look ahead. What are you planning? What's going on?
what am I planning?
Yeah,
You mean
what's-
like to carry in the store?
Yeah.
Or?
Like what's new for coming up?
Well, we have a really nice natural community here, like avid outdoorsmen. So we're thinking about carrying some camping food,
Oh.
things that would be easy to take on a hike.
Oh.
We're planning to expand into cocktail mixers.
Oh.
So these would be your, maybe a mason jar about yay big that has all of your ingredients in it. And then all you have to do is pour in your alcohol and you can drink it within like 10 minutes instead of the dehydrated ones that take days.
wow.
So
Okay.
that's something we're going to add in. And then
Rapid delivery system.
yeah,
Love it.
And if you look at the other half of our store, we're featuring almost exclusively Livingston County companies.
Oh,
So like the honey is from Brighton
nice.
and the peanut butter is from Pinckney. Like if we're trying to go as local as possible
Mhm.
to give other people who are creating quality products an opportunity to showcase in downtown Brighton.
That's amazing.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
It's
I
like
eat honey on everything. Like literally honey on everything.
That's good.
I go through Michigan honey like it's my job.
Nice.
Well, you should come check out our honey because it's Heffernan's honey and he's like right on Buno Road. So
Oh,
this
really?
is like as local as it gets. And it's supposed to be great for your allergies.
So I got a question for that. When they say like when a company says organic on their product, my understanding is that you have to be certified organic. Is that correct?
If you're talking about like legally to be able to advertise like in a
Yes,
store,
yes.
you would have a certification.
So you have to pay for that.
Yes, it's
But
a very expensive
there's-
process.
There's a lot of people locally that are growing, making, honey, for example. That's organic,
Uh,
so to speak.
If they're not adding something to it, technically, although, I mean, there could be pesticides technically present in anything. If, the bees are visiting your pesticide-laden lawn.
See, and that's my conundrum right now. Like, we are clean label on everything, and we want to know that there is no pesticides. So, like, I've been hesitant to buy a lot of local, even the farmers market stuff.
Because you're just not sure.
Well, yeah, we're just not sure.
Right.
And
you could ask the farmer.
And every time I ask, they say, no, we don't use pesticides. But like, until you have that organic seal of approval,
says who, sir?
I'm kind of leery.
So I could get into this. It could be its own episode. The organic process is extremely expensive. I worked for a coffee roasting company when I was newly married that did get their organic certification, and it was massive. Like it was where you purchase your beans from, how they're processed, whether or not you have poison traps in your facility for mice, or you use all, natural methods like actual mouse traps. I mean, they look at everything, but it was thousands and thousands of dollars. So your average farmer is not going to have the money to do that.
100%.
But people could lie. People could totally say, hey, we don't spray this with pesticides, but they're just saying what you want to hear.
Right.
Because nobody
does
that. To sell their product.
Yes. I think at the end of the day,
I wish there was like just an easier way for like local farmers
to make it easier. Sure.
Hey, we follow all the same guidelines. Like,
the reality is that if you want to know how things are grown, you should probably be growing it yourself.
There you go.
I mean, we all have jobs, we have lives, but like put a garden in, get the majority of your stuff in there, and then just do the best you can with the things you can't produce yourself.
Yep. That might be the most sage advice that we've had on this specific episode. So, having come from the farmer's market, talk about the farmer's market.
Oh, what do you want to know?
Well, I'm guessing that once your heart is in those booths, even when you leave, you don't take all your heart out of those booths. So,
that's true.
What does the market mean for you then, and what does it mean for you now as a merchant?
So, we actually love the farmer's market so much that we're still in it. So,
bang.
I
was hoping I did that right. Okay, that's what I was hoping.
She's like in it double.
No, I hope I structured that
here's the
question
thing.
correctly.
There are weeks that are really rough at the farmer's market, but we still have the storefront.
Yeah.
And we could very well just be like, we need to focus on this and not do that anymore. But at the end of the day, like the farmer's market needs the money for the advertising and the things that they want to do. And if I believe in that process of neighbors coming together to support their own, then I want to be a part of it.
I'm smiling, even though I'm upset that I chased Mark away. I'm still smiling because that's exactly what I was hoping you would say.
Maybe he'll come back next
well,
week.
and like part of what makes our community what it is people sleep on our farmers market. They do.
They do.
And it's a little bit of a shame because in much the same way as we're introducing people to things like Captain's with Pizza Royale, it's like, do I have to drive a bus around and pick you all up and take you to the farmer's market for you to realize that you have this treasure that happens for months every year? And people are like, oh, well, yeah, there's a farmer's market. It's like, no, you're missing thing, right?
Did I just make a post about that? And then like one of the people in our group was like, where is the farmer's market?
See?
So there's a lot of people don't even know where it is. I'm glad that they're asking.
That shocks me.
But it's like it's 5 hours every Saturday.
You've lived in Brighton. You've lived in Brighton for this long. You have no idea where the farmer's market is.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, I don't think we can come up.
I mean, this has been an ongoing thing. Like I think just in general, like an outlet of information about small towns in Michigan, USA.
Yep.
Like small town USA. Like what's going on, people? Like. And we've seen it from the city council or the government. Like, guys got to get a voice. Like, let people know what's going on.
And I know, especially when there's like this Facebook group that's like 40,000 people from the area that all you'd have to do is come and tell us about stuff, and we would tell everybody about the stuff. Eventually we'll get there. But the good news is we're still in this place doing it.
You know what's funny about that is I have opened up the posts for certain organizations and said, hey, if you ever need anything, all you gotta do is push it through, let me know. Happy to spread the word. Guess how many times that's been asked of me?
0.
Roger's right.
That is
not one
disappointing.
time. Yeah,
it is disappointing.
It's a great resource. There's a lot of people there. There's more people in that group than are in the city of Brighton proper. So we should be getting a lot more traffic. I mean, and let's put it this way. We just had that Gilmore Girls event back in September, and it was incredible. We had 40,000 people descend on the city of Brighton. That's 4 times the population, I believe.
Yeah.
About the same amount that's in the group.
Right.
How many of those people do you think were actually from Brighton?
Not that many.
Like, very small amount. I asked people as they came through our store, where are you from? Where are you from? I got all the way to Hawaii, by the way. Hawaii.
We heard that.
But
yeah,
the
if you want to
majority-
go back and learn a little bit more about this Gilmore Girls event, go back and watch the last episode. And you can learn a little bit more.
I mean, it was incredible. But we had people, the majority were from like Illinois, Indiana, Ohio.
Well, we knew that because of the group, because people immediately were like, what's going on downtown? It's like, how did you miss
didn't know.
that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we should have pushed it more. But I think after a while, the merchants realized that the response to this event was going to be so large that the last thing we needed was to get more people down there.
No.
But like, how incredible is it that people were coming in from out of town and talking about how great our town is?
Yeah.
Like how much they love our mill pond, our restaurants, our community, our stores. If other people could see it.
It's what we've been trying to tell people for, I don't know, since March.
I love the event. I mean, that podcast was absolutely incredible. Like hearing the story and how that all came together. And that is like the epitome of what every downtown business owner is like. I wish we had like this traction. Like people just came to my storefront because like you own a business, you own a storefront. You're like, my sole goal is to get people in the door.
Traffic.
I need traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
People in my store.
So how do I get people in the store? And when people, just everyday citizens, just say like, hey, we're going to plan this event that like people are just going to come downtown. They want to buy from you.
Yeah. The whole event was just designed to get people into stores.
Into shop.
Terrible. Who would ever do something like that? Just like selling pizza. Who would even do it?
It's an amazing idea.
Yeah, right? I mean, for us.
So from a business owner's perspective, you were there that day.
Yes,
you know, like
very much
coming through. Like, what did that do to your sales compared to like an average day for you guys?
I mean, I don't know if I want to talk numbers, but we, being a newer company, being only in our spot at that point for 4 months, we have gone through a slower farmers market season. I would say people have not been frequently the way we wanted, or frequenting it the way we wanted. And then people not really knowing where we are. We have a sign on Main Street that says, come around back, right? And then we're directly behind Great Harvest.
Yep.
So we have that like hallway that we share, and then it goes out to that municipal parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think our signage is great, but apparently, I mean, my opinion doesn't matter if people don't know how to get here, right?
Right.
So we don't have busy days. Like we have days where like maybe we sell a few $100s. People come in. Most people have never been in before. We're still getting a lot of new customers. People who are saying, I didn't know you were here. How long have you been here? What do you have here? And I'm like, please come in, bring your friends, tell everybody.
Right.
So this event comes around and I'm thinking like, this is going to be a good day for us, right? We got people coming. Eventually, some of them have got to find their way to the backside of Main Street and trickle into my store. I'm telling you, I could not have prepared mentally or the store for what happened that day.
The deluge.
From 10 o'clock is when we opened our doors. I had my daughter. I saw people starting to line up in the hallway. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. Like a few people are really big fans of Suki and Jackson. We were Suki's Pantry.
I was going to ask you like what the replica was from the show.
I dressed up as Suki St. James.
Yeah.
And my husband was Jackson.
Yeah,
people who are listening to this podcast.
Yeah,
okay, so like she's a chef. So I had a chef's coat. And let's just set the stage. It's like 85 degrees out. Okay, so I got a chef's coat on. I have a bandana on my head, braids, hoop earrings, the whole bit. My husband's in overalls with a winter hat on. Okay. All 4 of my children are there because
it's like the nicest weather that day too.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is what people don't know. We're just going to picture of a store owner here. Okay. I have 4 children, 11 down to 2. Okay. We didn't want to pay for a sitter that day because it's too many hours. So my kids are going to be stuck in the back room with a television and a Wii. Okay. So we get all of the kids there. I send my daughter over to put the sign on the door that says we'll be open at 10 because I want people to be like, oh, when are they opening? When are they opening? People start trickling in at 10 o'clock. I'm like, oh, that's so nice. I did not stop ringing people up from 10 o'clock to 4:30.
Yes.
Like, and I don't mean like stop. Like I mean like literally it was one person after another.
Next.
And people are getting hungry.
Next.
Did you prepare? Like, did you make more inventory?
Our shelves are very well stocked.
Next.
All the time. Okay. But by the end of the day, after over $7,000 in sales. Guys, that's candy, pickles, peanut
Yeah.
butter.
What's your average ticket? I mean, like,
On a normal day?
yeah.
20 to 40.
Yeah. So divide 7,000 by 20.
It was a little over 400 transactions. It was a little over 400 transactions that day. I had posted the night before, and that's when I started panicking. I had posted the night before that I had peach sauce. Suki's famous peach sauce. It's from the show. And I thought people would think, oh, that's cute. Maybe I'll sell a few jars, right? I had canned it myself. Someone actually commented, I hope you have enough for me to bathe in. And I was like, oh, no. All of a sudden, it's getting all this traction. And I stayed up. Just, the life
We
of a
got to
store
make
owner.
more stuff.
I stayed up till about 1 a.m. canning 3 more batches of peach sauce just so I had enough on the shelves. And we sold out by 10:45.
Oh,
for 45 minutes.
My God.
I took
so much
special
orders on the
orders.
table.
No, I started
you
taking
took
special orders.
Yes.
I just shipped out my last order of peach sauce.
Holy shit.
Okay, so it was
That
like
was
a month.
September 21st.
It was like a month.
Yeah, September 21st.
So and I said next year we're going to do it a little different, take pre-orders and so on. But I underestimated the fandom. I underestimated
That's awesome.
what Laura and Kathleen could do in bringing in all these people.
Yeah.
But like, just to show like the significance to a small business like ours, I mean, we might sell $1,000 in a week.
Right.
Like, I know it sounds sad, but like, that's just where we are. We're a startup. You're trying to get people in the door. You're setting up.
Like a half a year's volume.
Yeah.
Right. In
Well,
one day.
I mean, I'd say like 2 months worth, right? We have to pay our rent. We don't have any employees because we can't afford them yet, but we have to pay our rent. We have to pay for garbage. We have to pay for our other utilities. We pay for all the raw ingredients. So when we get $7,000 in like one day, it was like, we can pay a lot of things.
Thank
This is amazing.
So much.
My daughter's 11. She didn't quite understand how things work, but she looked over at me. She goes, Mom, I think we can get a new car.
That's the best. All right.
We made it.
There it is. I think that's where we land the plane.
Right.
Like,
We already lost one plane.
He took off,
It
actually.
did so well that the daughter thought we could get a new car. That's it. That's all. That's everything.
Right? She saw the people and was just like,
That's
"Get a new
episode
car."
38 in the books. Like,
Yeah.
if you've not yet had a chance, Elise, you never even said the name of your store. So
Oh, yes. So it's McClements Farm.
yeah,
Like Mick Clements.
right.
Yes, people are going to ask. We named it after the street that our farm is on.
Boom.
McClements in Brighton.
Nothing wrong with that.
Clemens
Right.
Road.
People are going to ask
Let's go.
anyway. It's
Yeah.
publicly available information.
And what socials can they follow your business on?
Okay, so you can find us on Facebook. Of course, that's where we started. You can find, it's just / McClements Farm. You can find us on our website, McClemensFarm.com. TikTok is McClements Farm. Instagram is McClements Farm. We try to keep it, consistent because it's such an awkward word to type.
You got it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Follow them. They're going to tell us how you did. We want to know.
Yeah.
Did you follow? If you've not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Like, there's 85 people now that have subscribed to the program with a bullet.
Killing
We're
it.
Getting to 100 before you know it.
Right.
If somebody got FOMO over Gilmore Girls and you want to rub it in, this would be such a great episode. Share it with them.
And make sure you're nice to Elise in the admin stuff here.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. So
you can bully Roger, but
100%. So until next time, thanks, Elise.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
this is fun.
Thanks, Eric. Sorry, Mark. Roger,
Mark.
signing out. Bye.
Bye.